It was a public holiday, a bright summer morning, the kind of day families dream about. Three children left their home in Glenelg, South Australia, to spend the day at the beach. 9-year-old Jane, 7-year-old Arnna, and 4-year-old Grant. They took the bus. They waved goodbye to their mother. And then, they were never seen again. You are watching Atomic Dark. The truth they buried. Let's dig. January 26th, 1966. Australia Day. A national holiday. Jim and Nancy Beaumont lived a quiet, ordinary life in the suburb of Somerton Park in Adelaide. They had 3 children. Jane, the eldest, at 9 years old, Arnna, 7, and little Grant, just 4. That morning, Nancy Beaumont made a decision that would haunt her for the rest of her life. She let the children take the bus to Glenelg Beach, alone. It was only a short trip. The children had done it before. Glenelg was a safe, busy beach town. And in 1966 Australia, children still had a kind of freedom that is almost unimaginable today. Nancy told them to be home by noon. They never came home. Not at noon. Not that evening. Not ever. What investigators pieced together in the days that followed painted a disturbing picture. Multiple witnesses had seen the Beaumont children at Glenelg Beach on the morning of January 26th. They were seen playing. They were seen laughing. And they were seen with a man, a tall man, blonde hair, lean build, estimated to be in his late 30s, wearing swimming trunks and a striped top. Witnesses said the children seemed completely comfortable with him. They played freely. They laughed with him. Jane, the eldest, was even seen lying with her head on his stomach in the sand. This was not a stranger to them in that moment, but no one knew who he was. At approximately 2 in the afternoon, a witness reported seeing all 3 children walking away from the beach area with the man. And that was the last confirmed sighting of Jane, Arnna, and Grant Beaumont alive. One more detail shook investigators to the core. Jane had been given 5 cents, her bus fare home, but a local shop owner reported that she had purchased a pie and pasties worth more than 5 cents. She had more money than she left home with. Someone had given it to her. The disappearance triggered the largest manhunt in South Australian history. Thousands of police officers, volunteers, and army personnel searched the area. Beaches, sand dunes, parklands, nothing. A composite sketch of the Blond Man was circulated nationally. Thousands of tip-offs flooded in. Every lead went cold. In the years that followed, several men were investigated as suspects. A traveling salesman, a convicted pedophile, a Dutch psychic who claimed he knew where the bodies were, leading investigators to dig up a warehouse floor in Adelaide. In 2013, they found nothing. In 1994, a man named Arthur Stanley Brown was named as a prime suspect by South Australian police. Witnesses believed he matched the description. He was investigated repeatedly. He died in 2002, without ever being charged, and without ever confessing. Jim and Nancy Beaumont spent the rest of their lives waiting for answers. Jim died in 1995. Nancy lived into her 90s, still hoping, still believing that one day someone would come forward. She passed away in 2019, at the age of 92, without ever knowing what happened. To her children, there are no words for that kind of grief. 58 years of not knowing, 58 years of wondering if they suffered if they called out for her, if they were afraid. So what happened to the Beaumont children? Investigators, journalists, and amateur researchers have proposed several theories over the decades. Theory 1. A predator groomed them at the beach. The money he gave Jane was not random. It was a grooming tactic, a way to build trust, a way to make the children feel safe. He then lured them away and killed them nearby. Their remains hidden in a location that has never been found. Theory 2. The children were taken interstate, or possibly overseas. Some investigators believe the Blond Man had planned this abduction in advance, that he targeted the children deliberately and had the means to disappear with them. Theory 3. And the darkest of all. The Beaumont case may be connected to a series of child disappearances in South Australia throughout the 1960s and 1970s, collectively known as the family murders. A pedophile ring, operating in plain sight, possibly protected by people in positions of power, the full truth of which may never be known. The Beaumont case remains officially unsolved. It is the oldest active missing persons case in South Australian history. The Blond Man has never been identified. No remains have ever been found. No one has ever been charged. In 2018, detectives announced a renewed investigation. New forensic technology, new witnesses being interviewed. But as of today, no arrest, no closure, no answers. 3 children walked onto a beach on a sunny Australian morning, in front of dozens of people, in broad daylight, and vanished, without a trace, without a goodbye, and without justice. If you know anything about the Beaumont case, even something small, South Australian police still have an open tip line. 58 years is too long. Jane, Arnna, and Grant deserve better. This has been Atomic Dark. If this story reached you, subscribe, share it, because the only way cold cases get solved is when people refuse to forget. I will see you in the dark.